funny the position I now find myself in, like scratching for the lottery, just itching to win. Chasing after dreams only real to few. It seems I have the vision but I lack a sense of view. Night after night, feel asleep while I'm awake. Sway and still shiver as I feel my world shake. Chasing after ghosts for a sense of compensation, though I know living for overwhelming vexation. Life under canvas, body portrait in still, a greater sense of bliss over scarring sign quill. Painted tainted tale, whom the artist at hand, assuming control of nothing going as planned. A greater spectator whilst I chase a dying vision. I'm but a humble narrator falling short of ambition, until the day I'm endowed a taste of life's brilliance, in the iron shroud sipping on droplets of resilience. Nearing the climax of the play of my life, already face the opening act, constant but a strife. Does it get any better, or does it end at a standstill? It certainly can't get worse, as I lack the inner will to face a crowd of fears, fading dreams and haunting memories. Please do surcease before the curtains close and crease. The eyes open void to a soul longing to bow. I lay in a coffin, prematurely disemboweled. Already cast a shadow, longing for gleams, a soul in search of glow, and a body of dreams. Longing for meaning, engage and uphold, chance for glance, a screening, upstage and unfold. Be rid of my lines, let me write my own script, one which defines life beyond a stone crypt. Endow me to be a howl in the breeze, an echoey fade freely prowling through the trees. Allow me to see beyond this illusion, for I fear I won't live to see me reach the conclusion. An overwhelming sadness for the madness of heart. The mind at loss of bliss, so the soul is torn apart. An overwhelming confusion, for the first four lines are but jumbled, prime expression of delusion, as I mentally stumble. A lack of motivation had kept pressed on my desk, a longing for revelation from a feel of grotesque, indulging in suffering, or whatever you call it. Be rid of everything and spare me your wit. Just getting out of bed seems a daunting affair. Feel an overwhelming dread, I suppose a living nightmare. Not that I'm unfit, or that I'm unwell physically. I lack the will to commit, to live another day equivocally. Immense confusion within, both heavy and hollow. I feel my soul but a pin, my body a haystack of sorrow. I feel mentally strained, and a great deal of nausea, in a world disdained. I'm but a walking, talking aporia. Prefer to live in my dreams, as its seemingly sanctuary, a shower of gleams. The real world dark and shadowy, a broken record, endlessly on repeat, against my own accord. I find the strength to stand on my feet. An overwhelming sickness, shallow and distant, trying weeping though in emptiness. My eyes are water resistant. An internal mourn, for the mourn supposedly endow a chance to be reborn. I fail to excel somehow. Days now on repeat. My mind weighed down by concrete, crashing in the back seat. The driver thrashing through the street. I simply just follow a path readily prepared, chew more than I can swallow, afraid I never dared. I feel a hermit crab trapped in his shell, longing for the day I expel and propel, watching and waiting at a loss of my ambition. Burdened with confusion and bitter indecision. This craving, insatiable, I don't act on it still. Instead, retreat to my bed and bend through a quilt. Both fear and sorrow retract my inner woe. Just as life and its hardships subtract a living thrill. Instead of motivation, I seek a form of sedation, overwhelming fixation, in dire need of relaxation. Then off to the fact, I find myself less intact, just further away from the hollow path of yesterday. Mentally sway as I follow no way. Is this what I've become? Needing comfort, being numb. It's just the way life is. Do I settle for this? Loneliness and misery, simplicity and stupidity, a gritty reality. This is simply humanity. Childlike endeavors, for lie in it seems. He who dared to sever watch you die in your dreams. Follow this path, as there's no other way. I watch as I proceed, and feel my soul fade to gray. Overwhelming fear, though I've come to understand, nothing made more clear, for nothing more at hand. Fear plagues the soul, dreams and hope, my mind a black hole, my spirit a seam in rugged rope, as if it were possible, casting rope into the spirit of a star, dead in head still. The soul can only reach so far, completely ironic, never been more certain of uncertainty. My heart becomes awake, my body burns furiously, unable to withstand the sense of senseless feeling little more brand. The scars of sparks revealing. Days are marked away as dreams now fall astray. Night falls underway, still the same old play. Same bed, same room, same house of shattered souls. Same dread, same gloom, same fearful, tearful roles. Will it ever change? Or will it end with a travesty? Will I fall into the range? Or escape this bitter tragedy? A place for art. Well, where's my spot? I write with my heart, as it's all I've got. Such potency of truth and soul have no place in society for the youth as a whole. Prefer simple things, big houses and fast cars. Those with diamonds and rings, they're the real stars. Though in all fairness, jewelry that's all for sparkle, material, meaningless, though they cling to them still. Authenticity and truth, overshadowed by a fallacy, the materialistic youth. Care for only a plastic fantasy, present an alternating view, and it's simply seen as mundane. Speak on what you know is true, and you're regarded as profane. How can my poetry have a place in a society that feeds into stupidity and mediocrity? I'm out of touch with my generation, and perhaps with reality. In a world without fascination, there's no place for creativity. Longing for love, freedom and joy, now seeing nothing more than empty dreams of a boy. We all have a vision of an ideal life, but reality kicks in and we're met with only strife. Ignorant adolescent, I admit I still am, though in truth, too stubborn to rarely give a damn. Never want to give up, though with time it grows harder. With every passing minute, my vision starts to blur. Man of the hour, though the hand then deters, points another way, in which I'm then no longer sure. The path always alter, the mind will always stir, the heart will endure, and my blood will turn azure. Don't get me started on my soul, for it is a black hole, and my body as a whole, time and space as I stroll in the desolate plain unearthed of what makes a living worth. In a race against time, though mountains I have to climb, I'm afraid I fall short into a pit of utter fraud. And I'm met with two choices and a handful of familiar voices. One is far easier, the other takes longer. Intuition will defer, but I'm too unsure to concur. Is it worth playing my last hand and risking it all? Will I fall into quicksand, or will I stand tall? Either way I know, I must quickly make haste. Time waits for no man. I can't afford to let my time waste. A literate mind in an illiterate world. How can I be defined of all that it's filled? Images and graphics replace written texts. Movies replace novels. Tell me what comes next. The age of media, technology and AI. What more is there to be? What further do lie in the roots of our imagination, or rather lack thereof? For all is done in automation, artificially whereof. Without the need to think, we slowly become lazy. That with the loss of creativity slowly leads to stupidity. Slowly in the process, films are now becoming without meaning for both the scripter and the person witnessing the screening. Artificial art influencing a bland taste, creating fixed formula, leaving all before defaced. There's no room for original thoughts or imagination, which leads the mind to render redundant any sense of interpretation. Which leads me to my question, what's the point of still writing? If someone can have AI do it, I see no point of even fighting. Trying for a dream that's of no use to anyone anymore. What happened to authenticity poetry had once before? Poetry must be human. If it isn't human, it isn't poetry. AI, poetry, a contradiction. Still, unfortunately, what it's come to be. Here I stand unmet with chance, longing for a new of glance. Is it the world or is it me? Everything's changing ever so quickly. Friends now dissipate. Trials seem to exacerbate. Family now under strife. I'm met with conflicted life. Nothing is going as planned. Then again, the future was never at hand. Simply just going, flowing with ease. The calm before the storm, now no longer just a breeze. The tides are altering. The hurricane is circling. Now, under the eye of nature, seems my vision is but a blur. Spinning around in circles, caught under endless cycles. Always the same voices, always the same choices. Only under other circumstances and given less chances. The pressure increasing, no measure revealing. An ending to reach, or the closure I beseech. When will it end? When will I finally be able to transcend everything that's placed before me? I try and try, but see no end to the story. still but a hopeful, awaiting opportunity. And as I lay lowly still, I think of all I long to be, my dreams and desires, the paradise I once sought for, all the things I once admired, now seemingly estranged to me evermore. Will it get any better? Will I find my own way? Will the cycles ever alter? Or will I continuously sway? I close my eyes, attempt to vision serenity, but come to realize warped imagery is all I see. How can I visualize that in which was never shown? How can I idolize that in which I've never known? I feel my dreams fade, and my heart drops heavily, my mind further strayed, and my soul sinks steadily. Delve into soul, a longing for clarity. I find I blindly stroll through a mist of clouded imagery. A so-called visionary, seeking closure. But how can I see if brain fog renders me a blur? A riveting mystery, irony and satire is all my life has come to be. An impending sense of dire worry and regret, despair and fear, clouded by frets. Now all is unclear. Maybe it's paranoia. Maybe reality. I've become an aporia, an eyeless visionary, seeking a sanctuary, misled by doubt. Eyes tainted heavily, clarity now without. Despair in the air, accompanied by strange ambience. Grey clouds before a dimlit glare. Illuminate is futile, speaking out in silence. These first full lines resemble my current mental state, like sipping wine from thorny vines. But in no way does it compensate for a bittersweet taste of pleasure, met with the pain of a piercing sting, regardless of measure. There's a downside to everything. Shameful, this feeling, as all comes to an end, with time now revealing as spirits descend at the peak of the hour. With minutes we pass to a land far more dour, our dreams now at a loss. This is the reality. Welcome to life, forgot but the fallacy. You're alone in your strife. Woven seams in cotton streams, drift away from yesterday, rafting through a river of dreams, waterfall now underway, cast away into a series of images, a dream pool, a collection of wishes, often thought in reality meaningless, the reflection of a heart's desires and hopefulness. That's why the riverbed lets off a sparkle. The moonlight gleams resemble the light in our soul. That's why in our darkest moments we carry on still. We know deep down it's never too late to take back control. Though easier in fantasy than reality could ever be, it endows us to see past the ordinary, everyday imagery, a source of inspiration, a reminder of hope, a place of fascination, a way for one to cope, free from the demands of a broken down society. No matter where you stand, we all have a share in beauty. Life's so-called brilliance comes with a hefty price to pay, but dreams offer resilience and show you in light of way. Embrace your cotton dreams, let it sail you away, but don't get knotted in its seams, for in a tangle kept at bay, isolation abundant, shriveled soul seeking comforting. All the principles of life seem redundant. Fall into a trance, forsaking everything for a form of compensation. Cut the loss before the struggle. Numb the sense of realization. For the heart and soul, the constant scuffle. Blow the mind to render a blind. The spirit of intuition, for the soul is entwined. The body slowly breaking as it's readily confined. To the shadow of a madman following steadily behind. Reflection of the heart. As the mind slowly falls apart, I mentally depart from a body that fails to start. To open its doors to the world once more, for the spirit who soars, but the heart lies there evermore. It takes a certain courage to be vulnerable openly in absence of leverage. My mind weighs on my body heavily, a feel of anxiety, for only being who I am to the modernist society. I don't fall into the program, alienated from my peers, out of touch with my heart, a collection of fears. This is merely just a part.